When a narcissist returns after you go no contact, it can feel like a confusing, manipulative, and sometimes overwhelming experience. However, understanding the psychology behind the narcissist's behavior can help you maintain boundaries and protect your emotional well-being. So, let me give you reasons why narcissists often return after being cut off by their victims. Number one, narcissistic supply. Narcissists rely on external sources of validation, which is known as narcissistic supply, to fuel their inflated self-image. When you go no contact, they lose access to this supply and their sense of self-worth suffers. This loss can cause them to return, seeking to regain their source of validation. Ego boost is another reason why a narcissist returns when you go no contact. A narcissist thrives on admiration and attention from others. When you cut them off, their ego takes a hit and they may return to restore their sense of superiority. Your reaction, whether positive or negative, may be seen as an opportunity to revive their inflated sense of importance. The other reason why narcissists return when you go no contact is because of control and manipulation. Control is one of the narcissist's primary motives in relationships. By returning after you go no contact, they might attempt to reassert control over your emotions, actions, and thoughts. The return can be a calculated move to regain power over the relationship. Narcissists often engage in a cycle of idealization and devaluation. When they devalue and discard you, they may later return to idealize you once more. This cycle allows them to maintain emotional control and keep you invested in the relationship. A narcissist may return simply to test how much power they still have over you. If you respond, they see it as a sign that they can still manipulate you. If you resist, it challenges their sense of dominance, and they may either back off or escalate the manipulation. Narcissists often feel entitled to your attention, love, and energy. When you cut them off, they may experience envy and even a desire for revenge. Returning to your life can be a way for them to punish you for taking away their supply or for asserting your boundaries. Narcissists have limited empathy, and they may not truly understand or respect the emotional pain they've caused. When you go no contact, they may return because they don't see or care about the impact of their behavior on you. They simply want their needs met again. Although narcissists often appear self-sufficient, they are frequently lonely, especially when they lose their sources of supply. In these moments, they may return to you as a convenient source of validation or as a temporary fix for the emotional emptiness. Despite their grandiose appearance, many narcissists harbor a deep fear of abandonment. Going no contact triggers this fear, and they may return to test whether they can still secure your attachment and prevent the loss of their emotional resources. Narcissists typically struggle with the idea of losing control in a relationship. When you initiate no contact, it represents a loss of control over you. They may return because they can't tolerate being deprived of that control and seek to reestablish it at all costs. When you go no contact, you are likely improving yourself, finding independence, and rebuilding your sense of self-worth. Narcissists feel threatened by this as it diminishes the ability to control or influence you. They may return to attempt to undermine your progress or regain their dominance. Narcissists often feel threatened by the idea that you have moved on from them. They may return to check whether you've healed or found happiness without them. This serves as a form of reassurance to them about their own attractiveness or importance. Even if they don't have immediate plans to reestablish a deep relationship, narcissists often return to keep you in their orbit. They may want to ensure you remain a potential source of supply, someone they can always return to when needed. Narcissists often thrive on chaos and emotional drama. If they are bored or feel unfulfilled, they may return to rekindle the emotional highs and lows of the relationship. For them, the return is not about genuine love or care, but about reigniting the emotional roller coaster. Narcissists may return as part of their need to reassert their sense of superiority. They see you as someone who failed to keep up with their ideals, and their return may be an effort to remind you of their perceived greatness, sometimes through subtle insults or comparisons. Once you go no contact, the narcissist may return to test how firm your boundaries really are. If they find that you are resolute, they may retreat. But if you let them back in, they'll see it as an opportunity to push further boundaries and reassert control. Narcissists are often emotionally dependent on the validation of others. When you withdraw that validation by going no contact, they may return because they miss the positive reinforcement they once received from you. This need for constant affirmation is hard to let go of. Narcissists often have a sense of entitlement that leads them to believe they deserve your attention and presence, regardless of how they've treated you in the past. When you cut them off, they might return with a sense of confusion or anger, believing they should be able to re-enter your life on their terms. Narcissists return when you go no contact because they haven't found a better source of supply. If a narcissist has not found another source of validation, they may return to you as a fallback option. They view relationships not as partnerships, but as tools to meet their needs. If they are unable to find someone better, they may circle back to the person they know will provide some form of supply. The narcissists will come back after no contact because they can't stand being ignored. Narcissists are highly sensitive to rejection, especially if it comes from someone they once had control over. Going no contact is often the ultimate form of rejection in their eyes, and returning is an attempt to reclaim the attention they believe is rightfully theirs. So in conclusion, narcissists return after you go no contact for a variety of reasons, most of which revolve around maintaining control, re-establishing their sense of superiority, or seeking narcissistic supply. Understanding these motivations can help you stay firm in your decision to maintain boundaries and protect yourself from further emotional harm. A Heyoka Empath can be trouble for a narcissist because they embody a unique form of empathy that directly challenges the narcissist's sense of control, superiority, and emotional manipulation. Number one, mirroring and emotional reflection. Heyoka empaths are known for mirroring others' emotions or behaviors, often in unconventional or upside down ways. This can be disorienting for a narcissist who thrives on controlling and dominating others' perceptions. Heyoka empaths' mirror can reflect the narcissist's own flaws or insecurities in a way that challenges their inflated self-image, making the narcissist feel uncomfortable or exposed. Number two way a Heyoka empath can be trouble to a narcissist is because of their unpredictability and disruption. Heyokas are often unpredictable, and they may act in unexpected or reversed ways. This disrupts the narcissist's sense of control because they typically rely on a predictable and stable environment to maintain their power and manipulation. The chaos created by a Heyoka empath forces the narcissist to confront reality in ways they cannot manipulate or control. The other way Heyoka empath is trouble to a narcissist is truth-telling and challenging ego. Heyoka empaths have this uncanny ability to see through people's facades and often challenge others with uncomfortable truths. For a narcissist who is deeply invested in maintaining a false image of perfection or superiority, A Heyoka empath can be a mirror of discomfort. They can point out the narcissist's contradictions, insecurities, or lack of emotional depth, which may expose the narcissist's true self. That is something the narcissists fear most. Then the other way Heyoka empaths can be trouble to a narcissist is through energy drain. Narcissists feed off the attention, admiration, and energy of others, often draining those around them. Heyokas, however, have an energy that is not easily manipulated. The emotional depth and ability to disrupt the narcissist's control can create tension or even emotional exhaustion for the narcissist. Since they can't manipulate or siphon energy in the same way with a Heyoka empath, the narcissist may feel weakened or confused. Now, narcissists crave constant validation from others to reinforce their sense of superiority. A Heyoka empath, however, may not offer the validation they seek. Instead, they may offer unconventional or even playful reflections that undermine the narcissist's need for constant adoration. The Heyoka's refusal to fall into the narcissist's game of manipulation can be infuriating to someone who thrives on praise and control. Heyoka empaths see through superficial charm and manipulative behavior. While narcissists often rely on charm, deception, and emotional manipulation to get what they want, the Heyoka empath's ability to see through this can make it difficult for the narcissist to use their usual tactics. The Heyoka empath may call out the narcissist's behavior or reject their manipulation, making the narcissist feel powerless. While Heyokas are empaths, they don't enable harmful behaviors or emotional abuse. They are compassionate but not easily controlled, and they won't tolerate being emotionally drained or used by a narcissist. The narcissist may struggle with this boundary as they are used to others putting up with their behavior or allowing them to take advantage of their kindness. In conclusion, for a narcissist, a Heyoka empath represents a mirror that refuses to be manipulated, a source of discomfort rather than adoration, and a challenge to their inflated self-image. The Heyoka's unpredictability, emotional depth, and ability to disrupt the narcissist's games make them a threat in the narcissist's world, because they refuse to play by the rules that the narcissist depends on to maintain their sense of superiority. Now, the reason why Heyoka empaths are trouble to a narcissist quickly, one is because they mirror other people's emotions or behaviors. And they do this in an unconventional or upside down ways. And this breaks the narcissist, because the narcissist wants to control and dominate others' perceptions. When the Heyoka empath mirrors the narcissist, it can reflect the narcissist's own flaws or insecurities in a way that challenges their inflated self-image, making the narcissist feel uncomfortable or exposed. The other way that a Heyoka empath is trouble to a narcissist is because of their unpredictability and disruption nature. Heyokas are very unpredictable, and they will act in unexpected or reversed ways.